business, everybody. Everyone, this is ready.
House of Cons. Salute to the family. Hey, Robin Nelson in the house. Salute. Tribe Up, Bronze Flat Power God in the house. Salute. George Richard III in the house. Salute. We tried up already, you know what I'm saying? Hey, peace to the tribe, y'all. I hope everybody feeling good. I hope your family feeling good. I hope everybody blessed. I hope your loved ones doing good and they healthy. Salute to the tribe, my Naga Tribe Up. Everybody hit that like button. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe already. You in here watching, you might as well subscribe, my Naga. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I know I be tripping, y'all. Some people be like, Blackjack, you need to tone down and tripping, my Naga. Blackjack, you be on one. I know, my Naga, but I am what I am, my Naga. Hey, but salute to everybody. You know, salute to all my Nagas, strictly for my Nagas, salute. Hey, but salute to everybody else that might be watching. Hey, if you from Europe and you watching, salute to you. If you got European ancestors, salute to you. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping today, y'all. I know I be in war mode, my Naga. I be in the spirit of the ancestors, my Naga. You know, cause I you know what I'm saying? I realize what time it is. You know, and a lot of people don't. You know, some of these colonizers, some of their descendants don't even realize what's up. And they here to be educated too. So you know what I'm saying? Some people gonna say, well, is it their fault? You know, well, it might not be their fault. But do they benefit, my Naga? Alright, so if they benefit, you know, you can't get in their feelings when we talking about it. We're gonna talk about it to tell the truth though, because our identity at stake. And we tired of the lies and we tired of the game, you know what I'm saying? We already been conquered on our own land. And now they trying to just completely rob us other land. Want to tell you to go somewhere where you ain't even from. We gonna get in all that. Salute to Fred Johnson in the house. Salute, Monaga. Salute, Tribe Up. All the way from North Canada. Yeah. All up from North Canada. Monaga, the French. You know, the French colonizers, they know all about the Nagas in North Canada. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hey, George Richard. Yeah, I checked out that IG post, Monaga. I checked it out. Hey, well, tonight, y'all, we got a good show lined up, a good title lined up. The title of the night show is The Savages of North America, my Naga. Yeah, the Savages of North America. They talking about the United States. They talking about Canada. Salute to Fred, salute to Fred Johnson. And it's all about you Nagas. Cause I gotta remind y'all before we get into the show. I gotta remind y'all, since the title of the show, The Savages of North America. I gotta remind you of who they talking about. Gotta remind you, my Naga. And you know, this old post I had on the community post, I put the Naga is the Indian. You know, I put that in the title of this post just to let you know, just to hit you with the real. You know what I'm saying? Where you can see the hijack coming, and we can put the move on it, right? It says early as the late 19th century, as early as the late 1800s, right? The 19th annual report. There go the source right there. If anybody want to ask me, man, Blackjack, what the source? I always put my source. It's telling you right here what the source is. The 19th annual report of the Bureau of American Ethnologies. So if you want to look the source up, there you go. It's in the 19th annual report of the Bureau of American Ethnologies. Noted that a considerable proportion of the blood of the Southern Negro of the U.S. is unquestionably Indian. So they talking you, Monaga. They talking about the savages of North America. They talking you, Monaga. Just like this tobacco Naga here. Just this hooped earrings on. Just like and this pearl necklace, Monaga. And this feathers up, Monaga. The red, white, and blue. Just like this tobacco Indian. You know, one of the originals. So they say the 1937 doctoral dissertation of James Hugo Johnston, belatedly published, many years later went even further. So we're talking the U.S., we're talking Canada, we know we're talking the Naga when we're talking Indian, especially when we talking the title of the night show, the Savages of North America. You know the Bone Savage, Managa. You know who they call the Bone Savage.
Bone sauvage. Au Négré l'Amérique.
See, that's the thing about the Bone Savage. When they start saying that Bone Savage shit, and they knew it was a character for the American Indian, you know how they messed up? They included l'Amérique Nègre in there.
Et l'Amérique Négrée.
They told you it wasn't a red man, they told you it was a so-called black man, right?
Au Bone sauvage. Au Négré l'Amérique.
Our Bone Savage. Our Nègre l'Amérique. And we looking at this on thumbnail from a third eye point of view, not the bird eye, the third eye point of view, Managa. And we see two so-called savages, right? And we see these Nagas right away, man. Man, if you've been with me, my Naga, if you've been studying with your boy Black Jack, if you've been studying with Black Jack for the last, I don't know how long, you should identify a few things right away to let you know that we're looking at a so-called
Au Bone sauvage.
l'Amérique Nègre, right? The Bone Savage. I know you see those hoop earrings, Managa, and I know you see the pearls, Managa. Hey, Uni Big Tree in the house, salute. Tribe up, Uni Big Tree in the house. So we see the pearls, we see the hoops. I already knew who it was. As soon as I see that, I see the feather loincloth. I see on the other brother with a cloth, the loincloth with these 3 stripes at the bottom, just like the beautiful spotted Negro boy. Remember the beautiful spotted Negro boy? His loincloth had these stripes on the bottom, and we seen the Bone Savage cloth with the 3 stripes on the bottom. We're just looking at this from a third eye point of view. We see a sinking ship deep in the distance, right? Y'all see that sinking ship deep in the distance, Managa? Let me see if I can blow it up to make sure everybody see the sinking ship that's deep in the distance, right? Then we see Becky, right? We see Becky coming on the shore, and at the bottom it say, I hope she can play chess. It say, I hope she can play chess. Now keep in mind, Managa, they've been calling you a noble savage, a good savage, right? The noble savage mean the Bone Savage, that mean the noble savage. That was the character for the American Indian.
Au Bone sauvage. Au
The l'Amérique Nègre. Not a red man, the l'Amérique Nègre.
Et l'Amérique Négrée.
That's what the character was, the Bone Savage, our Bone Savage, the noble savage. They said he was noble. Said he was smart, he know how to play chess, Managa. He probably talks the way I talk right now. But I know I'm be cracking jokes, but we on a serious topic, y'all. But I like to try to keep it a little entertaining. I know some people, even in class, when I used to teach, Managa, I used to teach a college course. Well, I taught several college courses. I taught a whole college program, Managa. I certified people, and I tried to make it entertaining because I know to have retention, to get people to come back to class, you got to be entertaining. Got to be a little bit of humor and a little other stuff, but you got to know when to be serious, Managa. So y'all know when I know when to be serious. I got a lot of passion in me. Sometimes I get mad, Managa, knocking shit over, throwing shit. I was like, East Side High, Managa, straight up. You know what I'm saying? But and that's kind of my method of my madness. But they called you a Bone Savage, a l'Amérique Nègre. And before we get into the night lesson, man, I gotta say something, man. I watch content creators just like y'all, man, and I like content creators. But don't get it wrong, I do my own thing over here. You know what I'm saying? And I can point out the stuff that I do that nobody else do. But before we start lesson, I'm gonna talk about this. Somebody came on the comment section on one of my shit, and they were like, "Yeah, man, that's what's up. Like, you got it from Dane Calloway." No, Managa, that's not correct. Dane Calloway ain't the one that showed me this, Managa. I like Dane Calloway. I like what he do. But my content is nothing like his. My content is nothing like nobody else that's in this sector. Cause I can name the things that nobody else do. You know why? Cause I watch these other creators too, and I watch what they do, and I make sure I'm not doing what they're doing. Nobody has no content creator you can check and see for yourself has clearly defined, and not just clearly defined, but thoroughly defined and thoroughly investigated the Bone Savage clocks, the French clocks from the 18 and 1900s. Nobody did that but Blackjack. So that's one thing. Even the early tobacco Indians pointing out the hoops and the pearls. Nobody did that but Blackjack. Even pointing out other things like the Nagas with the spears and the shields. Nobody did that but Blackjack. So don't come in my chat talking about it like I'm stealing somebody's content. That's the quickest way just to get blocked, my Naga, because I ain't got to go through all that, my Naga. It's stupid, you know what I'm saying? Nobody brought this stuff. Nobody brought the Bone Savage with the short cookie bush with the hoops and the pearls. Nobody pointed that out. You know how I know? Because I looked. Salute.
You big dummy.
So give respect where respect due. Yeah, I like these other content creators and all, but don't try me like I'm sliding off somebody else's vibe. Nah, I'm on my own wave over here. Salute. Tribe up. And all my real Nagas know this. This Naga who said that, I don't know nothing about it. I never seen the Naga before. I was like, well, apparently he ain't tribe, so he just in here hating for real. You know what I'm saying? These Dane Calloway, other content creators, they done pointed out a lot of stuff on their own behalf. Like, I love what they doing. But I'm doing my own thing. Like I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm telling you the Indian is you all the way and nobody else. That's another thing that nobody else is doing. Other people include other tribes. Now I'm really strictly for my Nagas. No disrespect to other people, the other tribes, but I'm strictly for my Nagas. Other people denying us. So we'll go around, come around, my Naga. Tell me in the chat, any other content creator pointed out and thoroughly went through the Bone Savage character. Anybody, let me know. Point that out. Let me know if anybody went through the Noble Savage. Let me know if anybody went through the hoops and the pearls. And I encourage people to do so. Don't just not do it because I did it first, but I'm just trying to point out when I'm trying to lay my own foundation in a different way from everybody else. Because I see what they doing, like I see what they missing. Like I'm always looking from a third eye point of view. You know, I'm always investigating. Just like who else brought you that the red, white, and blue was truly yours? Who else told you that, Managa? Who else pointed out that the feather headdresses are not tobacco leaves, that the actual leaf is in his hand that we can't really see right here? Who else pointed that out, Managa? Well, let's get back to the lesson. I'm just saying I can go down the list, Managa, because I intentionally try to do content that nobody else is doing. I make it my business to do that. Because I am original, Managa. Don't get it twisted. Alright, let's get to the lesson. Let's get to the lesson though. The savages in North America, they calling you savage, my Naga. They're telling you right here, and this right here is just unquestionably the Naga. They say the blood of the Southern Naga, unquestionably Naga, the Indian, it's unquestionably you. Who's an Indian, who's a Negro? Yeah, you. Just like the original tobacco Indians, my Naga. Let's get to it. Because I'm Blackjack, by the way. If anybody new in the house, go ahead and subscribe. We keep it all the way real over here, all the way raw, regardless of whom or what. And we just talking about the savages of North America, and we got some sources we're gonna read from, Managa. Benjamin Franklin in particular. Let's look at it. Y'all know who? I don't even know if this the real Ben Franklin. You know, so much deception going on in American history. Who knows? You know, salute the Romani Bay, Managa. Salute tribe up. Salute the Monaga in the house. Tribe up. El Noble Khan in the house. Tribe up. All right, y'all rolling with me tonight. You know what I'm saying? Salute God's favorite in the house. Salute Benjamin Franklin, Managa. Remarks concerning the savages of North America. Oh, it's Ben Frank talking about us, huh? I wonder what Ben Frank got to say about the noble savages in North America.
Au beau sauvage. Au Négré l'Amérique.
The Négré l'Amérique. What Ben Frank had to say about the darkness in North America, Managa? Let's see. Savages, we call them, because their manners differ from ours, which we think the perfection of civility. They think the same with theirs. Now, see, look at what he's saying. Now, let's slow it down. Take our time. It ain't even a long read. We gonna read it though. We gonna thoroughly read it, right? From a third eye point of view, right? Remarks concerning the Nagas of North America, the savages, the Bone Savage, the Lamarique Negre. They should have never let me find all that Lama Nigga stuff, man. They just in the Roy Nigga. They shouldn't let me get a hold of that shit. It's like savages we call them. Yeah, y'all call Nagabon. Y'all talking about niggas, man. Y'all talking about Negroes. Y'all calling African Americans, right? Some bullshit. But y'all talk about us. Look, savages we call them, like Lil Webby and Megan. Hey, because their manners different from ours. They say they different from us, and their manners is different. It say which we think the perfection of civility. They think the same with us. They say we think we perfect, but they think they perfect. Right? Perhaps if we could examine the manners, if we could examine their manners, their mannerisms, man. They want to examine your mannerisms. He said if we perhaps if we just could examine their manners of different nations with impartiality, by being impartial, unbiased, Managa, we should find no people so rude as to be without rules of politeness, nor any so polite as not to have some remains of rudeness. The Indian men, when young, are hunters and warriors. They got them not speak. When they young, them not having bows and spears and shit. Them not to get you, boy. Them not to pull up on your ass when they young. Yeah, they warriors when they young, right? The Indian men, right? But when they old, they counselors. For all their government is by counsel of the sages. There is no force, there are no prisons, no officers to compel obedience or inflict punishment. Hence, they generally study oratory, the best speaker having the most influence. The Indian women till the ground, dress the food, nurse and bring up the children, and preserve and hand down to prosperity the memory of public transaction. These employments of men and women are accounted natural and honorable, having few artificial wants. They have abundance of leisure. They in the promised land, the land of plenty, Managa, for improvement by conversation. Our laborious manner of life. Look at that. So the Europeans say they slave life. Look at it. They say our laborious manner of life, our slave indentured servant ass life, compared with theirs, they esteem slavish and base. The knuckles looking at them like y'all putting up on here, y'all little funk ass ships, y'all slaves. And the learning on which we value ourselves, they regard as frivolous. They say your books and your institution, your college are frivolous to us and useless. An instance of this occurred at the Treaty of Lancaster in Pennsylvania, anno 1744, between the government of Virginia, Managa, you know Virginia, you know where they're getting all the tobacco from, pleasure to smoke, black Virginians, the Nagas, what the coin can connect the dots, and the Six Nations of Nagas. After the principal business was settled, the commissioners from Virginia acquainted the Indians by speech that there was at Williamsburg a college with a fund for educating Indian youth. Oh, educating the Naga, huh? You want to educate the Naga? You want to assimilate the Naga, huh? You ain't throwing us off. We know who you talking about. You want to assimilate us, right? It says, between the government of Virginia, after the principal business we settled, the commission from Virginia acquainted the Indians by speech that there was at Williamsburg a college with a fund for educating the Indian youth, and that if the Six Nations would send down half a dozen of their young lads to that college, the government would take care that they should be well provided for and instructed in all the learning of the white people. So in all the learning of the white people, who can they be talking about, Managa? They ain't talking about red man, Managa. They talking about sending you to school, white people, Managa, assimilating the Naga, assimilating the Indian, assimilating the Negro. Now, we don't never see nothing talking about assimilating the red man. It's all about you, Managa. It said send you to school with white people, man. Them other people is white. It is one of the Indian rules of politeness not to answer a public proposition the same day that it is made. So the Naga rules, like, we ain't give you no answer right away. We're gonna think about it and we'll hit you back tomorrow or maybe next week. It said they think it would be treating it as a light manner if you say they don't answer a public proposition. They say you want to send a young Naga to your little school. They say that's polite But we ain't answering right away because it's not polite to answer right away. We'll think about it, even if we already know what our answer is, then we'll tell you later. They say they think it would be treating it as a light matter otherwise, and that they show it respect by taking time to consider it as of a matter important. They therefore deferred their answer till the day following, when their speaker began by expressing their deep sense of the kindness of the Virginia government. You guys are kind in making them that offer. For we know, says he, that you highly esteem the kind of learning taught in those colleges. We know you esteem that college shit, and that the maintenance of our youth, our young men, while with you, would be very expensive to you. We are convinced, therefore, that you mean to do us good by your proposal, and we thank you heartily. But you who are wise must know that different nations have different conceptions of things, and you would therefore not take it amiss if our ideas of this kind of education happen not to be the same with yours. We have had some experience of it. Several of our young people were formerly brought up at the colleges of the northern provinces. They were instructed in all your sciences, but when they came back to us, they were bad runners, ignorant of every means of living in the woods, unable to bear either cold or hunger, knew neither how to build a cabin, take a deer, or kill an enemy, spoke our language imperfectly, were therefore neither fit for hunters, warriors, or counselors. They were totally good for nothing. We are, however, not the least obliged by your kind offer, though we decline accepting it. And to show our grateful sense of it, if the gentlemen of Virginia would send us a dozen of their sons, we will take great care of their education, instruct them in all we know, and make men of them. Salute, tribal. Salute, Naga told you a thing or two. Having frequent occasions to hold public councils, they have acquired great order and decency in conducting them. The old men sit in the foremost ranks, the warriors in the next, and the women and children in the hindmost. You know, they got the old men in the foremost ranks. They got the warriors next in line. They got the women and children in the rear to be protected. Monaga, you see that? The business of the women is to take exact notice of what passes, imprinted in their memories, for they have no writing. That's don't hijack. Right, Hebrew, Monaga. Come on, you created right. And communicate it to their children. They are the records of the councils, and they preserve traditions of the stipulations and treaties 100 years back, which when we compare with our writings, we always find exact. He that would speak rises. The rest observe a profound silence. When he has finished and sits down, they leave him 5 or 6 minutes to recollect what he was saying. That if he has omitted anything he intended to say or has anything to add, he may rise again and deliver it. To interrupt another, even in common conversation, is reckoned highly indecent. Yeah, you know, that's real indecent. I don't like to interrupt people, and I hate when I'm interrupted. You know what I'm saying? I really like people that know me in person. They know I'm pretty quiet. Like I know y'all know me on the stream and stuff, and y'all know I be lit in here. But people that really know me out here, they know I'm a quiet type of guy for real. And when I do speak, I wait till it's my turn to speak. And I'm an adult, man. It is really indecent to do otherwise. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. How different this is from the conduct of a polite British House of Commons, where it scares every person without some confusion that makes the speaker hoarse and calling to order, and how different from the mode of conversation in many polite companies of Europe, where if you do not deliver your sentence with great rapidity, you are cut off in the middle of it by the impatience, loquacity of those you converse with, and never suffer to finish it. Yeah, man, that is annoying. I walk away. I don't even want to be fucked up with them. When it's that kind of conversation, I'm gone. I'm out. Hey, the politeness of the savages, you know, the noble savage Monaga. He says,
Au bon sauvage, au négré l'Amérique, et l'Amérique négrée.
He say the politeness of the savages in conversation. He say these savages stand up when they're speaking. He say everybody's wait till they're done talking and everybody listens and they recollect. He say these savages are mighty polite. They are very different. is indeed carried to excess, since it does not permit them to contradict or deny the truth of what is asserted in their presence. By this means they indeed avoid disputes, but then it becomes difficult to know their minds. Yeah, you ain't supposed to know a Naga mind, mother. Or what impression you make upon them. Yeah, Naga mysterious, that's right. The missionaries who have attempted to convert them to Christianity all complain of this as one of the great difficulties of the mission. They say these Nagas ain't giving us nothing to run with. They say these Nagas ain't really trying to tell us much. You don't really know what they thinking. The Indians near the patience. The Indians hear the patience, the truths of the gospel explained to them, and give their usual tokens of assent and approbation. You would think they were convinced. No such matter. Damn. They say they in there sitting in the mission. They say them old fake little saints. They in there talking about Jesus, Zeus, and the Indians like this here. I find that hilarious. He say they think they got them convinced, and they like, yeah, not really. They say it is mere civility. They say they were just being civil. They were just being polite. Managa, they in the mission with you. They in the clapping with you. You thought they was with the Zeus, Managa. A Swedish minister having assembled the chiefs of the Saquahana Indians, made a sermon to them, acquainting them with the principal historical facts on which their religion is founded. Watch my words, man. Not even on reading. Such as the fall of their first parents by eating and the coming of Christ, the coming of Zeus to repair the mischief, his miracles and suffering. Hey, when he had finished, the Indian orator stood up to thank them. What you have told us, says he, is all very good. He said, that's all good. It is indeed a bad thing to eat apples. Hey, that Naga made a joke out that shit. He said, it is better to make them all in the cider. We are much obliged by your kindness in coming so far to tell us these things which you have heard from your mothers. In return, I will tell you some of those we have heard from ours. In the beginning of our fathers had only the flesh of animals to subsist on, and if their hunting was unsuccessful, they were starving. 2 of our young hunters, having killed a deer, made a fire in the woods to broil some part of it. When they were about to satisfy their hunger, they beheld a beautiful young woman descend from the clouds and see herself on that hill which you see yonder among the blue mountains. They said to each other, it is a spirit that perhaps has smelt our broiling venison and wishes to eat it. Let us offer some to her. They presented her with the tongue. She was pleased with the taste of it and said, your kindness shall be rewarded. Come to this place after 13 moons, and you shall find something that will be of great benefit in nourishing you and your children to the latest generations. They did so, and to their surprise found plants they had never seen before, but which from that antique time have been instantly cultivated among us to our great advantage. What are they talking about, corn? Where her right hand had touched the ground, they found maize. They talking corn. They say they found maize. They say she touched the ground. They say Ma touched the ground and made corn. Where her left hand had touched it, they found kidney beans. And where her backside had rested on it, they found tobacco. Oh, wow, this is pretty deep, Managa, right? The good ministry disgusted with this idle tale. They call that an idle tale. Look at this, y'all. They call it an idle tale, Managa. They call it idolatry. Said, what I delivered to you were sacred truths, but what you tell me is mere fable, fiction, and falsehood. So they disrespect your traditions, Managa. Disrespect your custom, your religion, your spirituality, Managa. And tell you better accept Zeus, right? So they did your ancestors, Managa. They took your ancestors, told them how the maize got here, they told them how the tobacco got here and the kidney beans, and they rejected it. The Indian, offended, replied, my brother, it seems your friends had not done you justice in your education. They have not well instructed you in the rules of common civility. You saw that we who understand and practice those rules believed all your stories. Wink, wink. Why do you refuse to believe how? Man, this is funny, man. I must admit, this is kind of comical, man. I just find it comical. I know the way I'm reading it, but I find this to be a bit comical, Managa. It's a interlead is a sheet with no writing, but it scheduled what appears to be a hot air balloon. When any of them come into our towns, our people are apt to crowd around them, gaze upon them, and incommode them where they desire to be private. This they esteem great rudeness, the effect of and want of instruction in the rules of civility and good manners. We have, say thee, as much curiosity as you, and when you come into our towns, we wish for opportunities of looking at you. But for this purpose, we hide ourselves behind bushes where you are to pass, and never introduce ourselves into your company. So they was like, when y'all be rolling up on the Naga, y'all be staring, y'all be like, they be staring at Nagas when they roll up on the Naga. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, we ain't even rude like that. You know, all that staring in the hood might get you dealt with, right? You all that staring at Nagas. Nagas get nervous when you stare at the Naga too long. Y'all know this, right? Y'all know Nagas get nervous when somebody's staring too long. Like, man, nah, looking at me. Like, anybody looking at a stranger looking at a Naga too long, man, you asking for trouble. And that's anywhere in the Americas. If you stare at a Naga too long and you don't know this Naga, if you don't know the Naga, you better greet that Naga. You better say, hey, man, you look like somebody. You better let the Naga know you come in peace. Cause right? And then, you know, the Naga said they found that offensive. Y'all staring at us because we got our feathers up and purrs and hoop. Y'all looking at us, calling us curiosities. It says you guys are quite rude. You gazing upon us, and it say we looking at y'all like if it's war. It say, but when we checking y'all out, y'all don't even see us. We just be peeping through the bushes like, look at these funny looking motherfuckers. When y'all pass by, and we don't even intrude ourselves in y'all company. Their manner of entering one another, their manner of entering, that's supposed to be entering. Their manner of entering one another's villages has likewise its rules. It is reckoned uncivil in traveling strangers to enter a village abruptly without giving notice of their approach. See, the Naga's like, man, we ain't rolling up on y'all towns and y'all show without giving notice. Therefore, as soon as they arrive within hearing, they stop and hollow, remaining there till invited to enter. Two old men usually come out to them and lead them in. There is in every village a vacant dwelling called the stranger's house. Damn, they had a straight up a little free house in the village for a stranger. Here they are placed while the old men go around from hut to hut, acquainting the inhabitants that strangers are arrived, who are probably hungry and weary, and everyone sends them what he can spare victuals and skins to repose on. See, the Nagas the Nagas had a lot of hospitality. And the colonizer came, they were doing the same thing for colonizers. They were doing this for other tribes. Anybody just a stranger passing. Nagas was very hospitable. We read plenty of stories about how hospitable the Nagas was, right? They say when the strangers are refreshed, pipes and tobaccos are brought, and then, but not before, conversation begins with inquiries who they are, where they're bound, what news. The Naga say, hey, bring the peace pipe out first, and we finna talk business, see who these fools is. It say what news and etc. And it usually ends with offers of service if the strangers have occasional guides or any necessaries for counting their journey, and nothing is exacted for the entertainment. See, when the colonizer came, the Nagas welcomed them right on in. The Nagas, like we saw that bone savage clock where they was holding the two sticks. They had the colonizer on their shoulder, and we saw a book about the indigenous Brazilian Nagas they was enslaving. They had the same thing, and I know where a couple more pictures of the same thing at to connect the dots on. The Nagas was hospitable. The Naga welcomed slavery. Our ancestors was really naive, my Naga. The same hospitality esteemed among them as a principal virtue is practiced by private persons, of which Conrad Weiser, our interpreter, gave me the following instance. He had been naturalized among the Six Nations. Look, they welcomed Conrad into the nation. See, man, man, you can't be letting people in, man. That's how these other people talking about they Indians now. They talking about you ain't one. See what happened? Our interpreter gave me the following instance. He had been naturalized among the Six Nations and spoke well the Mohawk language, taught him the Naga language. and going through the Indian country to carry a message from our governor to the council at Onondaga, he called at the habitation of Kanasatego, an old acquaintance who embraced him, spread furs for him to sit on, played before him some boiled beans and venison, and mixed some rum and water for his drink. When he was well refreshed and had lit his pipe, he lit the smoke. Conrad began to converse with him. A Spaniard, Conrad, Spaniard, Monaga. They was being friendly with a Spaniard, Monaga. They had the devil in there and they didn't know it, Monaga. They had a stinky Spaniard named Conrad, Monaga. Let me see, man. What else going on in here? Man, that's crazy. Conrad began to converse, asked how he had fared the many years since they had seen each other. Whence he then came, what occasioned the journey, and Conrad answered all his questions. And when the discourse began to flag, the Indian to continue it said, Conrad, you have lived long among the white people and know something of their customs. Oh, so wait a minute. So Conrad was the Indian. We know Conrad, the white man. See, all this is weird. Conrad, I don't know if that's an Indian name or a Spaniard name. I don't know what's going on with that. It may be an indigenous name. I don't know. I'm reading this story new with y'all. It said, Conrad, you have lived among the white people and know something of their customs. I have been sometimes in Albany and had observed that once in 7 days they shut up their shops and assemble all in the great house. Tell me, what is it for? What do they do? What do they do there? They meet there, says Conrad, to hear and learn good things. I do not doubt, says the Indian. I do not doubt, says the Indian, that they tell you so. He said he don't doubt that that's what they tell you. They have told me the same, but I doubt the truth of what they say, and I will tell you my reasons. I was lately to Albany to sell my skins and buy blankets, knives, powder, and rum. And you know, I used generally to deal with Hans Hansen, but I was a little inclined this time to try some other merchant. However, I called first upon Hans and asked him what he would give for beaver. He said he could not give more than 4 shillings a pound, but says he cannot talk on business now. This is the day when we meet together to learn good things, and now I'm going to the meeting. So I thought to myself, since we cannot do any business today, I may as well go to the meeting too. And I went with him. There stood up a man in black. Or was he a black man? Was he a man in black? See y'all. I always be y'all better have y'all third eye on, man. They say stood up a man in black. Or was he just a black man? And began to talk to the people very angrily. I did not understand what he said, but perceiving that he looked so much at me and that handsome, I imagined he was angry at seeing me there. So I went out, sat down near the house, struck fire and lit my pipe, waited till the meeting should break up. I thought too that the man had intentions, had mentioned something of beaver, and I suspected it might be the subject of their making. So when they came out, I accosted my merchant, where Hans says, I hope you have agreed to give more than 4 shillings a pound. No, says he, I cannot give so much. I cannot give more than 3 shillings and 6 pence. I then spoke to several other dealers, but they all sung the same song, 3 and 6 pence, 3 and 6 pence. This made it clear to me that my suspicion was right, and that whatever they pretended of meeting to learn good things, the real purpose was to consult how to cheat Indians on the price of beaver. See that? You know, the French, the Spaniards, and the British all get together and say, hey man, we're gonna give them this much, no more. You know, y'all see what happened? They say the real purpose was to consult on how to cheat the Indians on the price of beaver. Consider but a little, Conrad, and you must be of my opinion. If they met so often to learn good things, they would certainly have learned some before this time. But they are still ignorant. You know our practice. If a white man in traveling through our country enters one of our cabins, we all treat him as I treat you. We dry him if he is wet. We warm him if he is cold. We give him meat and drinks that he may allay his thirst and hunger, and spread soft furs for him to rest and sleep on. We demand nothing in return. But if I go into a white man neighborhood, or his house in Albany, and ask for victuals and drink, they say, nigga, where you from? What you doing around here? They say, where's your money, nigga? And if I have none, they say, get to stepping, you Indian nigga dog. You see, they have not yet learned those little good things that we need no meetings to be instructed in. Therefore, it is impossible their meeting should be as they say, for any such purpose or have any such effect. They are only contrived the cheating of Nagas, the price of beaver. You know, the source, Benjamin Franklin, Managa. Salute, tribal, Managa. And I be bringing this stuff. Benjamin Franklin, Managa. He talking remarks concerning the savages of the Nagas of North America, Managa. You know, like, think about it now, man. Nagas be welcoming. You know, it's a white guy stay around here in my neighborhood. We don't treat him dirty, man. We don't mess with him. We wave at him. We don't give him no problems. And, you know, in Naga Central, in the stronghold of the Naga. But as soon as you move where they little colony at, you go out there and move across town where they colony at, man, you gonna get harassed. They gonna carrying out there calling the law on you. And they might, you know, just like Q was saying, nigga come home, spray paint it on your house. They spray paint Naga on your house. You know, you get straight up harassed, you know, in the stronghold of the Naga. You know, we know what's going on. We know who they talking about. Well, Nagas be so welcoming, my Naga. Nagas be so welcoming, my Naga. Hey, I put a little something in the community post. I know some of y'all probably see it. Let's go back to it. Not this. Let's scroll back up. Let's talk about this for a minute before we close out the show. I got a members only live stream coming up tonight. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't got a membership, man, go and get your membership, because this members only live stream tonight gonna be lit. Man, that thing starting at 10. I forgot, 10:30. Hey, Ambush Predator in the house. Tribe up. We got a new member. 2 shots for Ambush. Managa Ambush Predator. Tribe up. 2 shots for Ambush Predator. Managa Salute. Damn. Stronghold of the Naga. North America, Managa. That's right, Managa. Tribe up, Managa. Hey, appreciate that, hey, Ambush Predator. Appreciate you big time, brother. Salute to you, brother. Hey, this is what we earlier I put off in the community chat, y'all. Check this out. Yeah, that members only live stream gonna be lit tonight, man. We talking some real con shit. We gonna identify a real con, we gonna talk about them. And man, you don't wanna miss it, man. Be like Ambush Predator. You know what I'm saying? Try up, get the membership, Managa. You won't regret it, I promise you. Hey, salute. Hey, hold on, wait a minute. I gotta reload the page, I guess. I had strolled way down in my community post. Y'all know your boy Blackjack be just posting left and right. Y'all know I be trolling in the community post. Yeah, that's what we doing on the members on the stream tonight. We gonna talk about a real con, Managa. That's an image of a real con, Managa. If you know who that real con is right there, go ahead and put it in the chat, Managa. Let me see what you know, Managa. That con holding the spear. Who know who that con got a crown on? He holding the spear, Managa. That's what we talking about tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, Managa. You don't want to miss this, Managa. Anybody know who this con is? Put it in the chat if you know who this con is. We gonna talk about it though. But I posted this in the chat earlier. It take a while, I guess. Where this is from. Salute. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a couple people got in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Managa's got in the comment section. I was trolling. I said, look at this, man. Before we look at the comments, though, let's take a thorough look, Managa. Like a little bit of jungle fever going on, Managa. I see a ship. You know, it's always a colonizer ship in the background, Managa. So whenever you see the colonizer ship in the background, you know you ain't in Europe. And I'm gonna go ahead and let you know you ain't in Africa either on this. The red white, it should be a big the red white should be a big indicator, Managa. You're getting warm. Those pearls and those hoops, yeah, you're getting warmer, Managa. And we're gonna look at the comments. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show y'all where this come from. Let's go to the comment section, Managa. I got 5 comments. Nagas was taking guesses, Managa. Nagas trying to figure this one out. I pinned right away, contrary to what most would think, it's not Africa. I eliminated that right away for you. Alright, Managa, Tahaka Tasedi. I got a nephew named Tahaka, Managa. Salute to Tahaka Tasedi. I got Tahaka Sedi. I got a nickname. I got a nephew named Tahaka. Baby nephew. Hey, he say that Tahaka say the Caribbean, Jamaica, or the Barbados. He say my mother people are from St. Lucia. The women wore gold bangles. The gold was from Guyana. Yeah, Guyana, Naga Guyana, not no French Guyana. They gonna stick French on there like the French made that. No, that's Naga Guyana. Salute to the Nagas in Guyana, Managa. I gave him a reply. bullseye. No, salute. Yo, hey, I gave him a salute, bullseye, my nigga. Hey, he dead on from the Caribbean, my nigga. Somebody said, my nigga, he said, Ireland, you know what I'm saying? But Tahaka was right on with the Caribbean, my nigga. That's the native of the Caribbean, my nigga. So I'm gonna show y'all something else. Go to the source. Boom. And right now I'm on Media Storehouse. Y'all, I know y'all be like, damn, this not gonna be finding crazy. I might be, man. Hey, Hampton and McNeil say the membership link. Let me see. I ain't never know you can post a membership. Well, I ain't my bad. I ain't know you can put the membership link in the chat. But normally people just go to my home page and they click on memberships and they join like that. I think if you hit the $ in the comment section on the chat, it got a join button down there too. You can join like that, Managa. Especially if you want to try a buck and you want to catch his members on the live stream. We talking real cons tonight, y'all don't want to miss it. Something they don't teach you about in school, Managa. Naga King, they don't teach you about. It say a Naga King in America, not in Africa, Managa. That's what we talking tonight at 10:30, Managa. It say the white ship captain in an embrace with a black native. Now look, right away, that's from a third eye point of view, Managa. From a third eye point of view, Managa. Look, it say a black native. It didn't say African. It didn't say an African, Managa. Because if it was African, it just would have said a white ship captain. There go his ship in an embrace with an African. That's all it would have said. That's all it would have said, Managa. It would have said with an African. But it says with a black Naga. It says a black Naga, a native. A native of where, Managa? And it says a black native woman on the beach. So everybody that been with me, we see the culture. We know that Africans don't dress like this. So we know Africa is already eliminated. This is not their culture, Managa. You can't disrespect Africans saying just because this is a black Naga, this is a negress. You can't say she African. Look at how she dressed. Look at her pearls. Look at her bangles. Like Managa said, look at the bangles. So we're not gonna go for races and dumb stereotypes, right? We're gonna look at culture, Managa. Like this European, look what he's wearing. He's obviously English or something. He don't look French. Like we don't say he's white, so he gotta be French. He look English to me. That blue, I think that's British, right? Blue and red, right? So we're not gonna let them do us like that either. Like we just from one source. They trying us, and we the source of everything, you know. It's a white ship captains embrace a black native woman on the beach. So you already know where this beach at, because since they ain't just plainly put it in the description, in the title. But let's talk about it. White ship captain in an embrace with a black native woman on a beach by Brown. Tom, 1872 to 1910. It's a private collection, and that's all they want to tell you in his private collection. It's a private collection. Why is this private, Managa? What else is on there? All right, so I'm gonna show y'all the source, where this come from, and how you know it's in America. It's in America, Managa. We on Media Storehouse, and we just on the Desert Island gallery. What desert island, Managa? What desert island? Let's see. What desert island? Lighthouse on Klein Curacao, Little Curacao. Where is Little Curacao? If you know a Little Curacao, man, go ahead and tell me in the chat. Klein Curacao, English Little Curacao is a 1.7 kilometer uninhabited. Yeah, they gonna say it's uninhabited because they know you not mankind. They know you original man. They gonna say you ain't one of them. They gonna call you a monkey or something. Island southeast of Curacao in the Caribbean, Managa, in the Caribbean, Managa. So a black negress from the Caribbean, Managa. Black native from the Caribbean, Managa. Salute. Managa, you never know where you gonna find the drop at sometime. You never know. You gotta take a wild guess sometime, Managa. You never know where the drop gonna come at. The drop so happen to come in sometime on a weird site. You know what I'm saying? Sometime like Media Storehouse, Lighthouse and Klein on some damn Klein Curacao, some art from Klein Curacao, Managa. And you gotta stroll way down. Of course it ain't at the top. Gotta scroll on down here. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get to the they trying to pile all everything on top of the knocker. Hide that knocker. Salute. Knocker way down here somewhere. Way down here to get that knocker. Then the knocker go way down here. There you go. What else on here? Look what else. Robinson Crusoe, right? The noble savage character, Robinson Crusoe. If you remember, you already saw the member live we did on Robinson Crusoe on man fright, the Managa, the epitome of the noble savage. The epitome of the noble savage, right? In the Caribbean, Managa, the Caribs, they call cannibals, Managa. Look at all this, connect these dots, Managa. We ain't talking no Africa, Managa. We're talking in America, Managa. We do real research over here like nowhere else, Managa. Nowhere else, Managa. Who did a movie on Robinson Crusoe before your boy pointing out that the Robinson Crusoe was the epitome of the noble savage? Who did it before your boy? For Blackjack, Managa. You tell me, Managa. Managa tell me I'm like somebody else. Nah, got me elfed up, Managa. I whip my spear out, Managa. What, man, matter of fact, who else got a spear, Managa? I ain't bragging nothing, y'all. I'm just Naga trying me, my Naga. I go to point night. I go see. I don't never speak on what I do. That's like, man. I don't get into no war words. I don't like to, cause I'm gonna destroy Naga. But don't let me go to point night stuff, my Naga. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we driving up though at 10:30, Managa, 2 hours from now. It's on 8:25 p.m. Eastern time, Managa, and I'm Blackjack. This is the House of Cons. I'm down here in Florida. I'm a Naga Floridian, Managa. It's American Con, Managa. Salute. It's House of Cons. We're gonna make them respect the house. We're gonna let the doorknob hit there with the most high split there. Salute. Tribe up. Hey y'all get that membership, Managa. See you at 10:30, Managa. Salute. Tribe up. Hey, appreciate Ambush Predator, the newest member. 2 shots for Ambush Predator, Managa.